that kind of woman. Okay? That's what she teaches in her women's workshop, is to be the kind of woman that is lovable, adorable, and understands men and has compassion for the changes that men are going through, because that we teach them the stages that men go through so that they can tell what stage their husband, boyfriend, wannabe boyfriend, or future boyfriend is going to be in, so that they recognize these stages and they know how to interact with that kind of a man, because we train them.
Exactly.
And it's not a manipulation, but it's like you wouldn't talk to a 7-year-old about physics, right?
Yes.
Because they just wouldn't get it. They don't care, right?
Right.
And you wouldn't talk to a physicist about Barney the Dancing Dragon, because he wouldn't care. Right? So people are at different stages in their development, and I don't mean that men are like children or whatever. I'm just saying that, people, human beings, grow in stages. Now, women, it's a totally different type of evolution, and it's more holographic. It's more like layers of an onion, if you will. Whereas men, I made the analogy earlier, it's like stairs. They when they're done with this, they climb up to the next level. And when they're done with this, they find themselves on the next level. So it's a little bit like going up a ladder, okay? And then they get to the top of the ladder or the stairs, and they look and they see that all of those stages in their life contributed to the noble, kind, wise man that they are today. But you don't get to noble, kind, wise man without going through some stages. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
Now, with women, it's a different thing. They kind of have some of because of the women have a natural, what I'll call higher moral ground. Okay? Women, because life gestates in their very body, they can feed life with their breast, with their body. In other words, they can cause an infant and nurture it up through life. Their vision is more time-oriented. They're seeing into the future in a much different way than a man does. The men are very present, like what's going on for me right now. Do you know what I mean? It's like, my car's broken, or I need to pay my student loan, or I need to get an A on this class if I'm going to go to the next one, or whatever it is, right? They're concerned with what's right now. And maybe they might think of what I'm going to do this weekend, And if they're really good, they might think of what I'm going to do next month or next year, right?
Yes.
Or 5 years from now. But that's a more developed man than you are when you're in your 20s. You're not thinking that yet.
Yes.
Right? You're thinking about what's going to happen this weekend. Can I get laid? Can I get a girl? Right? That's what most guys are thinking about at that age. I don't mean to be rude, but that's what most guys are thinking about at that age. Is like, let's have some fun, and let's get through school. And like that. Now, you get that guy, you get him married, you give him a bunch of kids and a wife and stuff. Now he's living the life of a 38 or 40-year-old guy. You got me?
Yes.
But he's not ready. He doesn't have the tools. Nobody taught him how to do that. It's like he's trying to build a house, but all he's got is a saw and a hammer. What do you expect him to build with? It's going to fall down eventually. It's very, very likely that it will. So, how to help people like that is to get them into, that's why we created the workshops that we create. I'm not just using this as an opportunity, I'm telling you that's why we created it, because this is a very common occurrence. This is a very common occurrence that men and women get married, they have kids, they're all in love, and then something happens. It doesn't matter what happens, something happens, right?
Yes.
It doesn't matter if your car goes off the road and hits a tree, it doesn't matter why. Right? What matters is, did you survive, right?
Right.
Never mind if it hit a tree or a telephone pole or a wall. It does, or why. What matters is, can you avoid that happening in the future, and can you heal yourself from that occurrence? Okay, that's what matters. And so what really matters here in your relationship, your son-in-law and your daughter's relationship is, can they heal themselves from this occurrence, or is he going to cause so much damage that it can't be healed? You see what I'm saying?
Yes, yes.
So we created workshops so that in 3 days, a Friday night and all day Saturday and Sunday, we give people such a concentrated experience that it would take years of therapy and reading and studying it to get this knowledge. And it's not just knowledge, it's real experience. In other words, we make sure that something changes in there.
Mm-hmm.
You've cooked before, right?
Yes.
You cook. You know there's a difference between putting something out in the sun, it may be very, very hot, and letting it cook, or putting it on a fire and letting it cook, or if you put it in a pressure cooker and screw the lid down and turn the heat up, it cooks a lot faster, doesn't it? Yes?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, well, the workshops are a little bit like a pressure cooker. Okay? We put these people in a room together and we give them a safe environment in which they can actually grow and develop in a very rapid stage. And when they come out of it, we have other coaching programs that they can follow that are very inexpensive so that they can begin to implement what they've learned into their life. You see? And that's very, very different than having somebody come in, sit down on the couch, we just talk for an hour, oh, sorry, your time's up, they leave. Go back to their life like it's always been, and then come back again next week. That's very, very different. Do you understand?
Yes, but do you think with his help and workshop that he will come out of his fantasy, and is there any hope that he could just come back and realize who he is, realize his
I don't want to give you,
he's a father.
I don't want to give you hope, but I do want to tell you this. He will come face to face with what's authentically true about him and about his relationship with his wife and his children. And when you get face to face with what's actually true, the true love that's really there, then you have what we call these life-changing decisions to make, right?
Yes.
You come face to face with the paradox. To be a human being is to have paradoxes in your life. A paradox is when two seemingly things that don't work together are confronting each other, and you have to find a way to live with paradox. Yes?
Yes.
Yeah. So you have to come face to face with what you truly value in your life, what's really real about you, what's really true about you. Now, if there's really true love between him and his wife and him and his children, he'll have to come to face with that, and he'll make a decision one way or the other. You know?
Yes.
I can't tell you what decision he will make, obviously. So I don't want to give you hope about that. I just want to say he will decide, and whatever he decides will be what he decides. But it'll be an authentic choice made by a man who's at least conscious of the costs as well as the benefits of his decisions. It's pretty hard to make a buying decision, to make a decision when you don't know all of the things that are at play. You don't know like you said, it seems like he's unaware of the effect that it's having on his children. Right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Well, he'll get clear about that in a workshop with me. He'll get clear about that. He'll come to understand. See, I'm of the opinion that when somebody has children, when they consciously say, I want to have children and I choose to be a mother and a father, let's do it, and they have sex and they have children for the reason of having children, right? They've given up a right. Now, most people don't tell themselves this, but it's what's true. I feel that you give up the right to make your life be about you anymore. It's not about you anymore. Now it's about them because you chose that. You brought somebody into the world because you wanted to, and now you need to choose to make their wants, needs more important than your own. Otherwise, it's going to cost you. It's going to cost you your integrity. It's going to cost you being happy with yourself, proud of yourself. It's going to cost you whatever it costs you. You know, I have friends that have to visit their kids in prison or mental wards, okay, because they were such lousy parents.
Sad.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's so sad to hear that.
Yeah, well, that's the cost, you know, or they're paying their kids' therapy